I'm Kate Wood of thewoodandspoon.com, coming to you today from Selma, Alabama, where today we're going to be making some Derby Pie Bars. Many thanks to the Feedfeed for having me to host again on Instagram stories. And so if you guys are ready with your big hats and your bourbon drinks and your horse bets, then we are going to get started on these Derby Pie Bars. To start, we need to work some butter into our dry ingredients, which is really just some sugar and flour, the usual suspects. We want it to be a coarse meal. If you don't have a pastry cutter like what I'm using here, you can use the back of a fork or even just your fingertips. Once you're done, you just pat it all out into a foil-lined pan. You really want the pan to be lined with foil so that you can remove the bars easily. And you just pat it out, and this is going to get baked in the oven for a few minutes to become our shortbread crust. The shortbread crust is out of the oven, and I am just pouring all of this buttery brown sugar goodness into the pecans, which is going to go right on top of our shortbread crust and chocolate chips. The pecans and bourbon and brown sugar are all combined and are going to get thrown on top of all those chocolate chips. Once it's spread out, we're going to bake it in the oven, and it is going to be amazing. While your bars bake in the oven, this is the perfect time to pour yourself a much-deserved bourbon cocktail. You could go with your traditional mint julep, you could go with the Kentucky Mule, or you could go just a little bourbon on ice like me. When the bars get out of the oven, they smell fantastic and buttery and caramelly and just so good. You just let them cool a little bit on the counter, and then you melt down a little bit of chocolate and drizzle away. Thanks so much to the Feedfeed for having me to host this Instagram Stories takeover. I hope you enjoyed, and I also hope that you will check out my site, woodandspoon.com, to get the recipe for these Derby Pie Bars and a whole bunch more that's going to be perfect for your Kentucky Derby party this weekend.